Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Hey, giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Yeshim, Yahweh Shai by Yeshim, Wakah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders that were well. Peace, many salutations to Yakian that's toiling in his truth. Um, now, we've been seeing this a lot in regards to the whole ICE ordeal. Uh, it's actually very interesting that it was a so-called uh, a white woman that was uh, that was shot by ICE. Um, for those who have been paying attention, ICE is basically uh, a uh, a task force that has been made to you know get out you know uh, reprimand or arrest illegal immigrants. And it's been causing an uproar, you know, in the U.S. Matter of fact, as well as I'm speaking, let's look at the word ICE. Well, the acronym ICE, uh, meaning immigration, right? So I'll just use ICE, Immigration and Customs Force. Uh, ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Force, which is a federal law enforcement agency under the United States. Uh, Under the United States Department of Homeland Security, its primary mission is to enforce immigration laws, detain and deport unauthorized immigrants, and combat cross border crime that threatens national security and public safety. ICE operates through various federal statutes and focuses on smart immigration and enforcement and human detention. Smart, what does that mean? Um, well, that's basically using Palantir, as a way to to track down various immigrants. And Palantir, we know, is a um basically uh, a, AI ultra database, if you will, that is able to compile, you know, certain individuals, various information, their cell phone, um, social media, accounts, job, you know, uh, even social security, various things about an individual, what I'm saying, and able to compile it into various files and to basically target them when necessary, you know, which this is eventually going to be used against the American people itself. All right. And as you can see, even with social unrest, this is going on, with this fatal shooting, in regards to this woman, not necessarily Palantir, what I'm saying, but the fact that, law enforcement, ICE is using law enforcement even on citizens, and you just here recently, I believe it was yesterday, a woman was shot, what I'm saying, by ISIS, ISIS, excuse me, ICE, agent. Okay, now here's the footage right here. Okay, let's take a look at the footage. All right, this is fair use. I'm using this as um, educational purposes only. This is not to monetize my page in any shape or form. Okay.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Dramatic video purportedly shows the moment an ICE agent fatally opened fire on a woman in Minneapolis, who DHS says attempted to barrel her SUV. As angles of the incident have emerged and gone viral across the internet, users are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless or in self defense. In the footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the vehicle after she blocked the path of their truck. But as one of the agents attempts to open the door, she quickly throws the car into reverse before trying to speed forward in the direction of another agent in her path. After the vehicle narrowly misses the agent, he fires 3 shots before the car crashes into a white sedan parked nearby on the side of the street. Hundreds of protesters have gathered at the scene, which the city of Minneapolis has identified as the intersection of East 34th Street and Portland Avenue.
This is fucking ridiculous. You don't protect people.
In the wake of the viral incident, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem described the officers' actions as defensive and called the incident an act of domestic terrorism during a press conference.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased.
Democratic Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, however, furiously denounced this narrative in a passionate press conference of his own.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin said in a statement, "This is an evolving situation, and we will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available."
Right. So, as you can see, supposedly tempers are flaring. Some people are saying that this is a psyops. Some people are saying that this is, um, just, people are fed up with ICE and they're how they're infringing on you know even Americans' rights. What we do know is prophecy is happening. Prophecy is popping off the pages. Whether or not this is a psyops, people reaction to this is real. We have to always keep that in mind. And also, I like to say this too. Esau Edom, he controls. We know that he controls these news outlets. He controls a lot of these YouTube pages too. That are conspiracy based. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he'll use a lot of these buzzwords, to take the focal point off of, you know, the real news or real things that's happening. In case people say, "Oh yeah, this is just science." Well, people are fed up. One of that woman was actually shot. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a science, whether it's it isn't, whether it is a science or it isn't, I should say. Uh, that's yet to be seen. But we do know this: people reaction to this is real, man. Everything is not a psyops. Everything is not something that's controlled by Esau Edom. What's controlled, who has everything is control is the Most High, and we do know this that sedition among men, right? Will increase, right? On people being disenfranchised, or disenchanted with the government will increase in the days that we are living. That's what's important to understand, I can. Okay, that's what's important to really focus on this enchanted meaning. What's that word disenchanted mean? It says disappointed by someone or something previously respected or admired, disillusioned, right? People are becoming disappointed in the government, dissatisfied in the government. That's going to lead to what? Sedition. Okay. All right. Now, this is Second Esdras 15 and 16. And there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. What does that word sedition mean? You know, let's look it up. Search it. The word sedition. It says conduct or speech incite people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. This is what we see going on. Okay. The sedition among man, the sedition among the US. You know, is it fabricated by the United States itself? You know, is it order out of chaos? It's yet to be seen, right? You know, there'd be a lot of, I would say this, there'd be a lot of stuff that he has got going, he got going on, and he's trying to orchestrate all at once. You know, a war with Venezuela, you know what I'm saying, proxy, you know, a form of a Cold War with China and Russia, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know, social unrest here, you know, and on top of the AI race, it's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. Maybe maybe just maybe he's orchestrating all these things, or maybe these things are happening organically, right? Because we know that the Most High is under control, right? Okay, even if he is orchestrating some things, the Most High is under control. We know these things are going to happen. That's what we have to focus on. Esau Edom likes to use these words like, "Oh, that's a psyops. Oh, that's a it's FF." That's true, but some of these events are actually real, brothers, and and even if it's a FF, guess what? The people reaction to it is real, and the reaction is, guess what? People are becoming disenfranchised or disenchanted, I should say, with the American government, which is going to lead to social unrest. It'll be catalyst to social unrest. Okay, all right. Verse 17: A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. What is this? Martial law. Okay. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of, uncertain, people unsure, in that day. And we're coming to that time to where reality is about to hit a lot of people in their face, man. Okay. All right. Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. As this is going on, what are you seeing? You seeing wars and rumors of wars happening, right? The whole, shoot, wars are going on. You got uh, Ukraine versus Russia. You got Israel in a 5-foot war, right? With various against various malicious groups that's funded by Iran. There's talks of Iran being attacked by the small hatters, backed by, of course, the big bad wolf, America. You know what I'm saying? You got just the whole Swedish Venezuela, you know, uh, you know, basically, invasion by the U.S. You got the U.S. Allowing Couture to set up a air force here in the United States. It's a lot going on, man. Right? All this, what we are in the thick of Jake at the beginning of sorrows. So it's going to get even worse out here. And sedition of man is going to be a part of that. Okay. So this woman getting shot, okay, shows us that guess what? Social unrest is around the corner. All right. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. All these things that we see going on are the beginning of sorrow, brothers. Okay? This is times that we're living in. All right? Because the people who's ruling over us, you know, um, are, uh, childish, you know, and unfit to rule, which is going to lead to their destruction. But before they go out, it's going to be a big bang. They're going to go out with a bang. Esau going to go out with a bang. Isaiah 3 and 5, and the people, verse 4, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Now, it's just talking about um, Israel, right? The wicked rulers of Israel. Well, we can liken these wicked rulers of Israel to these rulers of Babylon the Great are the elites. They are into all types of wickedness and really conduct themselves as uh, babies with fucking missiles. Okay, all right, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. Right. So it's going to be, as you can hear, as you just heard, you had people like Christina Nome. She's very prideful and arrogant when it comes to the woman being shot, which, hey, we love it. You Edomites got to stop the white on white crime. You know, there's nothing to us. But it shows you how arrogant these people are that's ruling over Esau, over the nation. It's over the nations, man, which is Esau, Edom. And because of that pride, Esau, Edom gonna be brought low. Okay, and there's gonna be more, sedition amongst man. All right, it's gonna arise because of this pride. All right, so this is just a quick review of what happened in Minneapolis. Pray was edifying for you all. Shalom.